Welcome back, little heroes. We return once again to Mythia. We join our heroes now that they are in Garen. But first, I would like to go ahead and begin with a perspective that we actually see all the time. I'm switching it up.
Giant dork.
Get up. Someone shook Roland's shoulder. Mom? He muttered, rolling over and throwing the blanket over his head. By the amount of light he could see with his eyes closed, it was still night. Roland, get up. It's Leslie. Someone shook him roughly from sleep, and Roland looked through bleary eyes, betrayed and angry. He did a double take when he saw it was a huge figure standing over him. Get up! Harper grabbed him and hauled him whole out of the blankets and into a standing position. It's Leslie. She's in trouble, Harper said calmly as he shoved something at Roland's mouth. Eat, the older human commanded. As the food breached Roland's lips, he tasted sweet. Dazed and confused, he pulled the object from his mouth and saw that it was a small blue iced cookie with love written across its surface. What is it? Roland got out before Harper firmly pressed the cookie back into his mouth. It's one of Amelia's. It's for your wounds and aches, Harper said, moving about the young half-elf and tugging his shirt off. Roland shivered in the cold of the pre-dawn, giving Harper a look of wide-eyed outrage. Shadow slinked into existence near the two, making throaty sounds at Harper. It's Leslie, he repeated for a third time. She's in the Doomridge with some of Lyran's soldiers. Last we heard from her, she was pinned down by a swarm of darkness creatures at a semi-functional portal, and got out about 30 of 33 arcane characters before she was cut off. The core mages are working out the rest of those symbols, and will be ready to send us in when we arrive at the Citadel. Shadow was wide-eyed now as well, making all the signs that she was ready for action. Harper thought he saw some shadows move in the room, but no, he must have imagined it. Leslie? Roland was worried. She'll make it. We just need to move, Harper comforted. Oh, shit. We should get Juniper, Euphemia, Isaac. Harper, they're great, and they really helped me out in the past week. Euphemia is like a darkness-killing little gal. Isaac throws magic cigars everywhere, and Juniper has crazy wish powers that basically do anything. Roland turned to face Harper as the larger man pulled the underpadding over his head. In return to Roland's enthusiasm, Harper raised an eyebrow at him. Where are they? He asked. Some school or something? A magic school. The Saten? You mean Leslie's alma mater? If the king wants them to go along, they'll ask them. We don't have time to go get them. We're going to be cutting it close, just getting your armor on. Did you finish the cookie yet? No, I'm hurrying as fast as I can, Roland said, shaking himself violently to try to get his breastplate on. Looks like you put on some muscle, Harper commented at Roland's difficulty with the plate. Roland didn't respond this time, thrashing around his room, waking everybody up. As the two paladins descended the stairs, they found Roland's whole family waiting for them. His mother, Christina, threw a box lunch at him, saying, Go get him. Next to her, quiet as usual, was his elven father, Lucian, who nodded encouragement. Then there was his oldest sister, Jania, who heavily punched his shoulder armor, pushing him back in a manly greeting. His blind sister, Allison, who was carefully cutting more veggies for breakfast at the kitchen table, yelled, Come back as soon as you can. Finally, his female twin, Erica, waited between him and the door, holding her 3-year-old son, Cameron. Say, yay, Roland, she cried in a whisper to Cameron, who was a bit annoyed at being woken up so early. He'll be in a better mood when you see him next time, Erica stated. The two made a one-armed hug, her with the child, Roland with his lance. Harper pushed him swiftly out the door, and they were gone. Roland's family looked at each other, then began heading over to the table for breakfast, when Roland burst back in, making the baby cry. He yelled quickly, Hey guys, tell my friends I went to the Doomridge to get Leslie. Okay, I love you, bye. Then he slammed the door and was really gone. Which friends was he talking about? Christina asked. Everyone shrugged.
Oh my God. Sounds just like him.
We begin as Roland leaves the Zartan School of Magic to head home. All of you, beleaguered from your fight with Saten, are offered plenty of accommodations here at the school, and you find yourselves in individualized rooms with the normal comforting amenities of those who manage the grades or the coin to make their way here to the school. individualized dorm rooms. Isaac, you feel like you're back in the church campus. Euphemia, you've never been to quite as sterile a place as this. While most of the rooms seem to be made homey by the students' individual belongings, the standard cold stone of the dormitories is rather stark in contrast to anything on any ship you've ever been in. And Juniper, where do you sleep tonight?
Considering she is currently pretending to be, is being herself, she is currently in a room near them.
Okay. All of your allies, including, I lied. You don't remember shit about dormitories. You're dead.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Prongor has taken you to the student medical wing.
He'll get better.
Which is very grade school-like. Has a bunch of, cots, effectively, lining the walls, about 12 on each side. A school doctor, a healer, and a nurse on staff. Pretty snazzy for the amount of staff it has. However, Prongor is going to kick in the door to the room with your bloody corpse and yell, "Everybody get out!" At which the doctor hurries over to him, and Prongor winds up spending a good 15 minutes yelling at the man that all these students are unimportant and waves them away with his hand. Eventually going over to the very, very back of the room and dumping what's left of your body in one of the beds, to the horror of many of the children. Your blood is all over the floor. And Prongor occasionally, every 5 minutes, gives each one of the children left remaining glares, even though they're not even close to you. They're 5 beds away. The doctor is going to immediately declare you dead, which Prongor is going to grab his face and sort of push him away. And he says, "You think that degree gives you some knowledge on this? You know nothing, doctor."
Does this medical ward have privacy curtains like you'd see in a hospital?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. All right.
This is for a kid tripped on the stairs, not for
an actual
corpse.
school nurse room.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. If they have deals with more substantial accommodations in the city if they had a corpse on hand, but Prongor doesn't know that and isn't listening to anybody at the moment. So eventually the school proprietors come and Prongor gets in a yelling fit with everybody. Somebody tries to touch you to check your vitals, basically, to make sure that you're not undead or something. And Prongor grabs a hand. The guards are called.
If this gets too big, June will interfere.
And finally, after the guards are about to be called, you are broached on the topic of your companions.
She just goes, "Oh, blast it."
Excuse me, Miss Juniper. It is one of the student prefects of the school. There's an incident going on in the medical facilities.
Her eyes widen as she immediately realizes what's going on. She goes, "Oh,
there's a man."
She just holds her hand up. "I know what's going on." She takes off running in that direction.
Okay. When you arrive, you may give me an intimidate or persuasion check to sort out the things.
She'll do persuasion.
All right.
17.
You've arrived to find somehow Prongor has taken off his arm and is flinging it at people.
Prongor, what are you doing?
He says, "Quickly, Juniper. It's the only weapon I have. Help me out." He says as he dances forward, using his arm like a rapier and whipping it towards people.
Please stop that at once.
The doctor is going to look over and say, "Help, please. This man is insane."
Dr. Morgans, please, I'll handle this, if you would. She gestures him out.
Complaining to you, when you arrive back, the nurse has an ashen look on her face and is staring at the corpse of Isaac. She's going to look over at you and say, he wasn't that together a few moments ago.
You needn't worry about it, it's normal. For him.
Nothing about this is normal, she says.
Please keep what you see to yourself and see yourself out for now.
All right, and what was your persuasion?
17.
17. Okay. After about 20 minutes of assurances and sorting, you find the privacy that Prongor is demanding.
She turns on Prongor and says, if this happens again, it harms Isaac more than helps. Come get me or somebody else to help in this situation.
Prongor, looking more angry than you've seen him look in a long time, is going to turn on you and snap, "It will never happen again."
Good. See that it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I feel like real Sarah's actually getting annoyed and angry right now.
Actually, no. I'm good. I kind of just want this lemon bar real bad.
Oh, okay.
It's delicious, by the way. Thank you. Where was I?
Hey, you need some help getting your armor off? Bolly says, looking in your room.
She looks down at her armor, and then her eyes widen. Maybe don't touch it.
What do you mean?
It's a long story. She starts to take her armor off very carefully, like she's almost afraid of her armor.
She's going to come up to you and kind of whack your hand playfully and say, "You're literally touching it right now."
Well, yes, but it's already on me, so what more damage could it do?
"Stop," she says, going around the backside of you and begins to unstrap the sides of it.
She jumps away and says, No, really, I accidentally put something in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, now I remember now.
It's the most exciting part of all last session.
Put something in it? What is that even? Like what? Do you have a lizard stuffed in there?
She turns and seems to take a fortifying breath. I don't know how much of the battle you caught before you were also knocked down. But at one point, I happened to reach my hand into Saten.
What did you see? She whispers sort of breathlessly.
Euphemia says, it almost hurts to think about it. But a lot of cold, a lot of nothingness, and in the distance, some kind of frozen intangible that I couldn't make out.
Okay, so like Yanjasi a little bit?
Infinitely colder.
Jeez, are you okay? She says, looking worried.
She laughs, and there's a little tinge of hysteria to her laughter. Are any of us okay? We just fought Satan. However, before looking into Satan killed me, I took something from him. And I don't know what.
Why did you put it in your armor?
I didn't mean to. It just happened. I was dying. I didn't know.
Wait. What do you mean when you say you were dying?
You see her just kind of put her head in her hands, like she's overwhelmed with how much crap happened in that
You
battle.
suddenly feel a strange constriction on the side that Bali undid. Like your armor is shrinking on just that side.
She starts unlacing her stuff faster.
Give me a sleight of hand check, please.
Okay.
Hurry!
I know! I'm almost positive I made
Pretty
it.
sleight of hand. I'll shut up.
It is 27.
With all the terrified fury of a woman who has an insect in her bodice, you are going to throw your leather armor off you onto the floor faster than you've ever done so before. The moment that you do, you're going to see it almost seems to breathe without you. And then it's going to collapse. The whole thing falling in on itself, crumpling down into, rather than the leather that it normally is, more like the leather of a wild animal. Tough. Wrinkled. And then it's going to collapse down into an object about the size of a heart. And it's going to gain shape. It's elongated a little bit. Like a gemstone that's been cut. There's a whirl to the leathering pattern. Like somebody took their fingers and grasped around it. And then a little blue cut is going to open in it. Like you're seeing to the core of something inside.
Is it horrifying looking?
No, it's strangely beautiful.
Kind of pretty,
It
actually.
is pretty. Interesting.
By heavens, fate is weird. Bali says, looking down at the object. Is that your armor?
It was my armor.
What is it now?
Can she use See the Heart to get more details?
Roll.
Different meaning there. It looks like a heart, he said. It's heart size.
You are the most punny person today.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Roll what?
Perception.
Okay. Ugh. 16.
That succeeds.
Yay!
You look into it and see only guilt.
She pauses a moment. All I see when I look at it is this sense of guilt and past failures.
Is that what you took from him?
That seems like that might be bad.
That sounds like a horrible thing to take from him.
I probably need to tell everybody about that.
You took Satan's guilt. What does he feel guilty about?
And what is he capable of doing when he's unleashed from that guilt?
Her face goes ashen. She looks up at you. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Is this like the lament? Is it like a fated item?
Did she get that from her perception? I mean, it is basically, right?
You rolled a 16?
Mhm.
You can only see guilt. Maybe if you tried again.
I didn't get it the first time. Hold on, let me concentrate.
DC 22, perception.
You can do it. I believe in you. Maybe.
Yes, because I have a plus 8.
Dun,
I
da,
think.
da, da.
I think. Yes, okay. Yay. I like getting new things, even when they're horrible.
Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah, we're screwed. Sorry about that.
So, as you look into Satan's guilt, you are going to see it is heavy. And as you look into it, you're going to see a memory placed within it. That of carrying something upon your shoulders. And you will hear an ominous whisper said in a voice that could only belong to Satan. I am the burden you never wanted. The sting of your most painful memory. If you had to interpret what you've seen through your faded senses, with your long life of using them, you would guess that the first part is how you use it, and the second part is its fate. So what do you think? We leave it? Go get Zarfa and Juniper?
I don't want to pick it up.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think they should pick it up either.
What if some student comes by here?
Oh,
Or a cleaning nurse? I don't know. They have house cleaners here? It seems like a place they'd have house cleaners.
it does seem a bit like that, doesn't it? Everything's so almost coldly clean here. All right. Ugh. Could you go find Juniper?
And leave you with it alone?
I've already done the thing. What more
thing
can
did
I
you
do?
just do? You didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. I heard Satan's voice.
I'm now not leaving it with you.
She says, he said, I am the burden you never wanted, the sting of your most painful memory.
By the pits. This is awful.
Yes.
Is that what Pearl says to you? Something like that?
Not quite like that. Although it is painful not just to the person I stab, it's painful to me too, in its own way.
Great. We can only hope this is as good as that.
I'd feel kind of awkward stabbing somebody with this.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's for stabbing until it changes suddenly, and then it's for stabbing. Considering it just was a leather armor. Now, what are we going to do for armor for you?
I'm sure they have other armor here.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. You wait just outside the door, and I'll go run and get her.
How about I wait just inside the door, and you go run and get her?
Why do you want it? Now I think it's like drawing you in like some kind of evil ring or something.
Sometimes I feel like you don't trust me.
I do trust you for a lot of things. Not touching things you shouldn't is one of them.
She's got you on that.
All right. I won't touch it. I feel uncomfortable taking my eyes away from it. I don't know what it will do. I don't want it. What if it grows legs and skitters off?
That's why you were going to keep it inside the room by shutting the door and sitting outside it.
But what if it can, like, get itself really small and skitter through a crack? Wouldn't it be good to keep an eye on it and
So
know?
you need to watch it?
I think it needs to be watched.
Maybe it would be better if it just scurried off into the sewer somewhere.
And end up where? Satan's
Not
guilt
here,
ends
maybe?
up with some poor person who picks it up thinking they've got this great item that's very pretty.
She's going to start shoving you towards the door. Stop being such a good person. She's
I'm
going to
being
like
surprisingly good.
push
All right.
you towards the wall and jump out the door real quick. She says, "Don't touch," and then is going to shut the door behind
She'll put her
her.
hands up like they're visible, not doing anything.
You have inspiration?
I do not. Thank you.
Bali is going to arrive just as you go to leave the situation with Prongor.
She's sitting here going like this as she's exiting.
Choo. Bali says as though there's some reason for her to be quiet.
Yes. Please, you didn't blow anything up, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Continue.
Euphemia died and stole Satan's guilt.
I beg your pardon?
Euphemia died. Okay. There's a magic item in the room. We don't
Stop. Euphemia is dead?
No. She's fine. God, what am I, Roland? She says.
Just take me to her.
She's going to grab your hand and say, on the way, okay, so Euphemia apparently reached her hand into you-know-who, and took out his guilt. And it's in her armor, which turned into a gem and is laying on the floor with
She
Euphemia in
took
the
his
room.
guilt?
Yeah. I know, it sounds real bad.
June looks sick. She will then quickly quicken her pace, and she's now going faster than Bali. Well, where are we going?
She's gonna start dragging along behind you. She says, "Your long legs," she says. "We're going to Euphemia's room."
She lets go and then hurries faster.
Yuffie, you are looking at the object. As you stare at it,
You're touching it, aren't you?
Not yet.
you suddenly find yourself inextricably in a daydream. Pearl is crying. You want to help. You reach forward. She stops crying. You find your eyes drifting, tears threatening to well up. You see yourself laying in a boat for days, sunburned. You see Roll, Tottlebottom. A memory flits through your mind, but something washes it away. Freya, sitting next to you, putting her hand on your shoulder. But it's like you can't think of good things. Suddenly the door opens behind you.
She startles.
Bali is following Juniper. June, the moment you open the door, you see the item. Laying with nothing around it for a good 5 feet. It's like a leather gemstone. And there is a blue glowing core with one little slit that you can see through.
She sees it, and then she's going to look to Euphemia first. Are you all right? She said you died. What?
Okay, she died. You said you died.
I did die. There's more about that, too, I need to tell you all. But first problem first. That thing. I didn't mean to take it. I reached in to try to fight, and then as I died, something came with me that I didn't even see in him.
Juniper, the moment your eyes lay upon the item, you vividly recall stepping out of the dome surrounding the Fey Veil. And then the night where the darkness attacked.
Gotcha. Yeah, June.
It's almost so vivid that you have difficulty discerning whether you're there or here.
A look of horror and absolute sorrow and despair crosses her face as she stares at it, and she drops to her knees, and you see her form shimmer.
Euphemia will reach out and yell, "Don't! Stop looking at it! Wake up!"
You will see tears fall down her face.
I'm sorry. I think looking at it, I think it makes us relive our worst memories. Or maybe the ones we feel most guilty for.
Yes.
As though it fed upon the images that both of you saw, the glow intensifies in the center. You begin to hear malevolent whispers around the room.
Everybody or just her?
Everybody.
I really screwed up.
Is there any way to return it?
There is a magical glow, like a red hellish light that burns at the back of the room, but you see no source. You see shadows dancing. It's as though there were drums beating somewhere far away.
It only stayed with me because he didn't want it back.
Can you force it back?
I wish I could.
What if we break it?
I don't know. I don't think that would work.
Yeah, June seems to be not caught her breath. Like, she's actively avoiding looking at it, and she's trying real hard, but she's got a slight tremor in her hands, and her form occasionally ripples with darkness.
Is there something we can put it in just to contain it for a moment?
Can I banish it for a little bit?
I am not sure banish works on an item.
Oh, you're right, it doesn't. It has to be a creature or a... And the only reason that the heart worked is because it still was technically a... What's it called? Sorry, that was an argument I had earlier. Can I just throw something at it to cover it for now? Just cover it with a blanket?
I guess we can try.
As you...
I'm good. She just reaches out, points, and a blanket just flips across the room and lands on top of it.
The moment that the object is covered, all of the seemingly magical effects faded.
It looks like June finally gets a full breath in.
And then the blanket is just going to collapse to the floor.
What?
What just happened?
Guys?
She lifts it
Polly
up.
says, looking down at her hands, and the object is there. She drops it.
Don't look at it. Tell me exactly what happened, please, and what you saw.
It just said, "You'll never be rid of me."
Oh.
Brilliant. Please.
When Saten appeared next to us in the battle, and I knew he was coming to kill us both, the moment before I died, I reached my hand inside him and saw a frozen nothingness, except for one intangible in the far distance that I couldn't make out. I didn't see anything that I could take. And then I think looking into all that nothingness, I think it killed me. And as I died, something came with me out of him. And he didn't want it back, so I embedded it in my armor.
She looks at you like you're crazy for a second there.
She clarifies. My hand just hit my chest as I died. I didn't mean to. It just happened.
It's not your fault.
It's a little my fault.
It's completely understandable. She reaches out and she...
Euphemia looks like she feels like she doesn't deserve the comforting.
You can feel her hand shake when she does that.
In that case, Euphemia will reach back out and just put a bracing hand. Depending... Maybe I have to be the one to carry this. It's my fault that I took it. And I can't let this just be able to wander free.
June reaches out and she very slowly will touch the thing herself and see what happens. Yeah, not looking forward to this, but...
The moment that you touch it, it speaks to you of its purpose. You place the guild between your shoulder blades. It opens. It will, in a way, consume you for 24 hours. Minimum. You can wear it for longer, but you must wear it for 24 hours. No force can break it. Not even fate. The only thing that will allow you to get free of it is if you have a guilt-free conscience. It will release you immediately. While wearing the guilt, you gain a new flaw. I feel extreme shame about my past failures, but I must hide it from everybody. While wearing the guilt, you dream of your worst moments. If you sleep. The wearer of the gilt cannot fly through any means, neither mundane nor magical, while wearing the gilt. If an item, force, or other magic would raise you from the ground level, fate pushes you down. This effect begins 2 rounds after the character is lifted and grows steadily more powerful over time, until you are back to ground level. Fall damage is doubled, and you cannot use any magic to stop you from taking fall damage. You also always fall prone whenever you wear the gilt. You cannot hide the gilt under magic or any object when you are wearing it. If one attempts to hide it, the gilt chooses how to remove the obstruction. While worn, the wearer can teleport as an action from one shadow they are completely shaded within to another within sight as an action. They must be completely within the first shadow to teleport, but only need to fit in the second shadow, like they only need to be able to jump out of it to succeed. If either shadow is unacceptable, the ability fails and it doesn't consume the action. Deception and stealth checks you make while wearing the gilt have advantage. When you cast an illusion spell wearing the gilt, creatures both have disadvantage on the checks to determine if it's real and saving throws against the illusion spell. Whenever you deliver the final blow to a creature, you gain temporary hit points equal to its challenge rating. These temporary hit points last until the gilt releases its wearer after a 24-hour period.
June will share this information with you both. In less mechanical terms.
Euphemia looks horrified that she has inadvertently trapped you in mental anguish like this.
Wait, so I have to wear... Okay.
You're not wearing it.
Oh, she's not wearing
I
it.
thought that was the
choose
case.
to put the gilt on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was automatically, like, adhered to her, and I was like, oh my god, what have we done?
If you try to leave the gilt, it will follow Euphemia.
That's only right.
The only thing that can take the gilt willingly away from Euphemia is Saten.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
So, it needs to be
Born, I should say.
I'll do it.
So nobody has to wear the gilt.
Yeah.
Just so we're aware. Like, it's not like forcing you to wear it.
But what happens?
You have to carry it.
Yeah, you have to carry it around, but you don't have to actually wear it.
Yeah.
So, out of game then, can you, like, carry it in a pouch and it won't just disappear?
Right. Yes.
Okay. But while a character is carrying it, even in a pouch, are there still effects?
No.
There are not.
No.
Okay.
So I suggest we get a pouch for it.
Do you have one handy?
Do I have to use a wish point to make one?
Don't do that.
Can I just flavorfully do it?
Yeah.
Okay, she goes.
All right.
And then it
She
kind of
opens the
weaves
pouch.
itself out of shadow and light all at once, and then it solidifies into a like kind of a slight shimmer but gray colored pouch.
Her magic is so beautiful.
As you carefully slide the gilt into the pouch without touching it, the moment you draw the drawstring, it seems satisfied. All of its effects and feelings fade, and it's silent.
Euphemia ties it to her, I guess, belt, her side.
It feels always awkward, a little too heavy on your belt. Makes your hip hurt.
Well,
If you ever need relief, I will help you share it.
I don't... She pauses. This is my own doing, and I don't believe in turning away from the pain of it.
Yes, but there is no shame in sharing it.
She's right. You can count on me too.
I think perhaps we should all talk.
That would probably be wise, yes.
As you guys go to leave the room, elsewhere, not on Mythia, you're sitting at a campfire. You've been here before, you remember. A dark forest. You're sitting on a log looking down at the flames. They're mesmerizing for a long time, and you don't even realize that you're here. And then suddenly you hear footsteps come out of the woods again. It's you. There is a distinctive look on your face. Some mingling of disappointment and I told you so. So you return, you say. And you come over to sit down across from yourself. Congratulations on your dominance of the engine. I know we were both waiting for that.
Why am I here?
You're dead. This is the waiting place. Most people don't realize they've come. They just stare at the flames until they wake back up.
I see.
But I brought you to alertness, because I wanted to speak to you.
About what? You look disappointed, but you're giving me congratulations. Which is it?
It is to one who has seen the path that you're walking and where it leads.
I'm not even sure what path that is myself. What would you call it?
Foolishness.
And I'm already dead, so where do you see it leading?
We both know you'll be back soon. This is not as though we don't know how the engine works. You feared that immortality. Why?
Because I don't think I ever stopped to think about what it would mean.
If only I could have achieved such a thing so simply. To just have it be.
I think a past me would have used immortality for very different things than... I'm just not that person anymore.
Hence my disappointment. You have gathered so many gifts to yourself that you're squandering. It's truly disappointing.
Well, tell me then. How high are your ambitions? What would you use immortality for? Would you take control of Selenox? Run the biggest gang there ever was? Surely you're aiming for heights greater than that.
My ambitions don't matter anymore. Not to you. But yours certainly do. They do to your friend, your ally, Prongor. He feels terrible about what you have become. To sacrifice yourself for the godmother of all people. How do you think he's going to take that? To throw your own life down while he runs?
If we're being honest, if Saten took me at face value and snatched me away instead of the godmother, I honestly believed I could have found a way out.
And yet you didn't.
Well, he didn't take the bait. It seems that the tales of my deeds haven't quite reached hell yet. I wasn't anticipating that.
All you were was a roadblock to Zarafen. How does that feel to know that your thoughts so low? Your enemies barely care that you're even there. Would the old Isaac have allowed such a thing? Would he have made a table with angels?
He thought of me as a roadblock, but I've since changed his opinion. I think that's something the old Isaac would have done.
You're right, you did change his opinion. You were even less.
You think he sees me as even less of a roadblock now? Less than a roadblock?
He killed you in mere seconds. What do you think he thinks of you?
Out of game. Zarfan?
Oh, no, Satan.
Oh. This whole time I've been, okay. I've been like, yeah, Zarfan, he likes me now. I was charming enough to change his opinion of me. Okay, let me rewind for a second.
Pronouns are difficult.
Is there anyone you think Satan wouldn't see as a mere roadblock?
Clearly. They're in your own group.
I think that the Godmother has quite a bit more notoriety than I do at this point.
But would she, though? If you'd maintained your level of dominance. If you hadn't gone to this path of self-sacrifice and found yourself dead. I would warn you, we're already past 8 hours. You should already be alive. But you're not. Your own desires are affecting the engine. You are losing your immortality because you do not desire it. The engine is accommodating you. I would warn you also, you are losing your magic. A cleric requires faith to keep their magic, and you are a death cleric. Soon you will be as useless to those heroes as Satan thought you were. Then what will they do with you? You will find yourself a peasant in jail. Or do you believe that they will overlook your crimes merely because they like you? How much do their heroics extend?
I'm not sure they would overlook them. Not if I wasn't any use to them.
A death cleric is defined by ambition and drive. You have lost both and become a follower.
And if I refound that ambition, would that make you happy? Even if it differed from yours?
You are looking at this through the wrong lens. Why are you trying to make me happy?
Because you're the only person here bugging me while I'm sitting here dying.
It should be you are trying to make happy. I believe you are confused about what path that leads you down.
For once, I think you're right. I agree with you.
It is not too late. You hold in your hand the answer. The staff has more secrets than you have ever delved. Powers that you would not believe. You have merely touched the surface of it. You were too young, too naive to understand them. So they were not open to you. But you must merely ask the right question. And you will find them.
What question would that be? I thought I knew everything about it.
The angel was able to give you knowledge that you did not possess upon the staff. How much research have you really done on it?
Not much.
There is a library here in Garen. It possesses much of the old times. Look to the Age of Magic. There, the staff fell into very interesting hands with a sword called Tear. You might find its twin. You've heard of the sword Tear. A blade with the fate to destroy whatever it touches.
A couple sessions back, I got a letter from someone who works for me saying that they had found a magical sword. They didn't include a name, did they?
No, that was Saul.
It was Saul. Okay.
As you look across the campfire into the mirror of yourself, you wake up. And we will end the session there. Noble Heroes, do please give us a like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And remember, do try this at home. Thank you so much.